Okay, so burger time it is. This is the next cabinet, and again, I really like this cabinet just because there's so much going on. So Dave, I'll let you do it justice. There's so much going on with this cabinet.
It is. It's quite an interesting looking one. I mean, it's an interesting game as a concept.
It's
the world's most unsanitary burger preparation game.
I wonder if they did this in like many burger joints, like they just did this at McDonald's. I wonder if it would still be a franchise.
I'm not quite so sure. Though the burgers would be tremendously large.
Yeah, they would be. They might actually look like the pictures that they actually serve them with as well. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
No, it's a very unique game. So right, let's do the cabinet.
Okay, so start off on the side, and there's Peter Pepper, I think is the character's name, sitting on a completed burger. So he's obviously having a break from the hard work of avoiding murderous eggs and hot dogs and pickles and other such things. And as you can see, there's a couple featured there.
Yeah, there we go.
And come on to the side, there he is. Is that mirrored? Let's just have a look.
It is. It looks mirrored.
It is mirrored, yes.
It is mirrored, yeah.
Okay, maybe it is on the other ones. We didn't really quite notice. Okay, and yeah, so we've got those there. And bring it in close. You can see there's more of the characters
that's really
on
cool.
the front and there. On this one, we've got two buttons, and they both do the same function, as in shake the pepper.
Yeah.
Okay, and as you see around here, there's a rather
well, let's just say
it's quite eye-catching in the wrong way.
Yeah. It's a lot of pickles and wieners.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Or if you imagine if you're old enough, it's a Spectrum loading screen.
Yeah, that's actually true. It does feel like a Spectrum loading screen.
Then we've got the banner at the top, and on the top here we have the Data East logo. Because this is we've moved from Namco temporarily, and this is a Data East game.
Good old Data East. Love it.
Yeah, they brought out a period of many interesting games.
It's true. Very, very good games.
So we've got one more of theirs coming up, but there's... You know.
And that's one of them as well. One of the good games that Data East did.
Yeah, I mean, I like things like Kung Fu Master and stuff like that. That's a good thing. So perhaps they'll do one of those, because there was a version, the Kung Fu was on NES. So
it's true.
Maybe we'll get one of those.
That would be pretty interesting.
And obviously there's some other games that they do that
it's true.
Quite popular, but whether or not there's NES ports they can do in this format is another issue.
Okay, so oh man, this cabinet just looks incredible. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Oh my days, a little bit of Data East.
Okay. Oh, rather abrasive tune. So I really don't know if there's a particular tactic to do this. I tend to go up the top and start on the burgers, because if there's a burger piece beneath, then they tend to they knock the next one down.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh, and that's the one problem I found on this game.
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't sure whether I mean, part of it is going to be my poor play, but whether or not it was the controls.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it is a game that really demands precision on the diagnosis. I was trying to play that through the viewfinder, so that was making life even more difficult. So I'll try and look at the screen.
I have to admit, this is one of the most interesting things to have in an arcade cabinet, because it needs precision controls. Like, really it is. It's very, very tight on what you should do.
You do get stuck on the ladders rather easily. And
well, almost got one burger done. So like we were saying, yeah, it's the most unsanitary way to build a burger, but it's there.
Yeah, I can generally go on to about the third stage of this game.
Yeah.
And the levels are quite varied in terms of the layouts of the ladders and the burger placement and the parts of the burgers. That food item that came up would give me an extra pepper to shake, because
Yeah.
we are limited, but I am getting stuck quite a lot.
But you are also playing through a camera. That's also the one thing to take apart from it.
Well, shouldn't blame our tools too much, but
there we go.
Okay. Okay, we're okay now, because I've got off a level, so it's not complete humiliation.
But no, this is one of the most unique arcade games as well, because everything seemed to be like, destroy this, or kill that. And like this and, what's the one where you're serving beers?
Tapper.
Yeah, Tapper. That was also like a really different game to have in the arcade as well. And I just find those ones simple and addictive again as well. Like, absolutely...
Maybe again it was just a push after, you know, Pac-Man and stuff, that they were trying to move away from just having games where you were just killing things and appeal to, you know, other people.
Yeah.
You know, rather than just, you know, 12-year-old boys, which, you know,
yeah,
obviously still reside in all of us, because that's why I'm playing these games.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, but this game really is quite difficult. I must say. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who will just be laughing at the ineptitude of my play and could just destroy this game, but I never used to play this on outside of the arcade.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
well, I can say I've probably played it like 3 or 4 times. Like ever since I picked up that Retrocade, I've probably played it a fair few times, because I've always been intrigued by how weird it is. Because I think just the idea of building burgers, like you said, but also it plays very differently. But the one thing that it reminds me of when I look at it, well, first glance, you don't know what you're doing. You've got a ladder system, so my first instinct is it goes straight to Donkey Kong, just because of the ladders and how it is. But yeah, it's just... That's the first thing that comes to me as well. But also, was it Popeye that was very similar, I think?
Popeye, well, you had elements of it where you had you had the 3 levels, and you'd be working up and down the side ladders, and you were chased by Bluto.
Yeah, and that's what this reminds me of a little bit as well. But yeah, I find almost the most unique games also the ones that are very addictive as well. That's why I find always very interesting at the same time. Like,
well, there's quite a lot of abstract concepts in some of these games. You know, I mean, when you're pitching a game, why would you necessarily come up with the idea of constructing burgers?
Yeah, exactly, by walking on them.
Just burgers in general. But, some very hungry developers.
It's true, but I also like the soundtrack is very, very cool in this as well. The sound effects again are on point. It's just one of those ones which I really do like. And it's just yeah, it's kind of interesting, because it's like you're all, at the end of the day, you're building burgers to put at the end of a well, let's just say I don't even know if it's a restaurant or not. I don't even know. It's just I wouldn't know the law. It's probably coming up on the screen as I'm editing this of like what the law was for burgers.
I'm not sure games were that into lore at this point.
Exactly.
It would be quite interesting. I mean, I suspect this is some sort of chef purgatory.
I think there as soon as certain games got to the Atari, the games were explained a little bit more with how they wrote in their manuals as well, which was quite interesting.
Well, I think with some of the 2600 games, they needed to be explained, because...
Yeah, some of them you can't really see what was going on.
You picked up your joystick and it was, okay, what do I do? And what's this about? It's...
Oh, man, some of those games are just, yeah, you can't help but laugh at some of them.
I think some of the games are still a mystery to a lot of people.
Man.
But no, going back in these days, the days of these machines, you'd get clones of these games on home computers, as would do in England. So we had on Spectrum, we had a licensed variant of this called Mr. Wimpy.
Okay.
After the ill-fated burger chain. Ran out of pepper.
And so it was just basically you had Mr. Wimpy was the English port of this.
Well, it wasn't identical. It was a version.
It's a version.
Yeah, I mean, because you had tons of. Oh, I've run out of pepper. Let's remember that. Well, I forget the coffee there, or the tea. Probably coffee, but I would have got an extra one. But hopefully, we'll see the third level, and then that will be the end of my play on this because I don't think I can get past it. Not yet, anyway.
No, it's just. I like the animations though in this as well. It's very, very cool. Like it just looks really, really just funny and comical, which is really fun. And
Yeah, there's an absolute malevolence behind this game. There's a cute front end, and there's pure evil behind it because this game is just really, really. I find it very difficult.
Yeah.
And I guess it is.
Mm.
But compared to the other games, anyway, this is one that you'd possibly have to have a few turns to get past the first few screens of.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas
Definitely
the other games you would, you'd hope to get past, the first few waves of sheets and Galaxians and Gallagher and such.
It's true.
Yeah,
but I think that's it when it comes with like practice and all that jazz. I think you can easily do anything really, can't you?
Well,
so.
again, this is a home port, so presumably if you've spent your 40 quid or whatever on this game, you're going to play it more than twice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gosh, it's funny looking back at the prices of video games then and also now. Like, I can remember we must have spent £35 on, I want to say Sonic and Knuckles is what I want to say we spent that much money on.
Mm.
And then other titles, which I won't say because I'm embarrassed that I bought them, and I look back on them and go like, I spent £40 on that. Ouch. And well, I'll have some artwork up here, and I'm just going to say it involved robots and they rose, and looked really cool,
right,
and
yeah.
it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Fortunately, we saw that one up at the pass with there was a Thoughtful magazine put the PC demo of it up on there. And
it was so bad. That game, oh man, it was so bad. Ugh.
at least you could complete it easily.
You can.
If you were
complete it
really
easily.
lazy and you just wanted to just say, "Oh, I've completed this game now," then by all means.
It was 100% true.
So-
Right. Okay. So we've done Burger Time. So should we do the next Data East one, or should we move on to the
No,
other
we'll do
one?
that one last. We'll go
Oh, yeah.
on to Dig Dug.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a fun game.
It is too much fun. So let's move on to Dig Dug. Okay, so yeah, Dig Dug. I'm really, really liking this game right now. I've been playing it a lot on my Retrocade. There's like 3 go-to games at the moment on my Retrocade, and this is one of them because it's. I didn't know about Dig Dug for a very, very, very long time, and then a fair few people have said, "Man, you need to play Dig Dug. If you like this game, you like that game, you should play Dig Dug." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go." And then I played it, and I was like, "Yep, I've been living a lie. Why have I not been playing this game? This is so good." And it's possibly one of the most violent deaths in video games, I think, as well. Sure, Pac-Man eats people, but this guy fills them up with air and then blows them up by, just compressing loads of air into them. It's quite,
It is when you look at it that way.
when you look at it like that, it is kind of like, wow. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And the gameplay is fantastic as well. And, memories. Right, so, Cabinet Dave, let's go through it.
Okay. Just on a side thing though, does Pac-Man, can you kill ghosts?
I think he can eat ghosts.
Yeah, but aren't they already dead?
Yeah, that sounds like a debate for another day.
I think so, yeah.
Like, honestly, the grand old debate is like Resident Evil, like herbs. Like, why are they always herbs? Do they smoke them? Do they turn them into a pestle and mortar and just paste? You never know. There's just so many grand old debates.
Put it to the test. Go out
Should
on
we
a Friday night, have a fight and have some
Maybe-
oregano in your pocket.
Maybe that's the next video. We just try out video game, theories that own video games in real life and see what happens.
I think people like Mythbusters may have got there first.
Yeah, that's 100% true, possibly. Right, okay, so...
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good.
Okay, so again, we have some really nice artwork on the side. This one seems to go all the way to the top.
Yeah,
So
it's really
you can
cool.
see the puka getting flattened there, and you've got a Figar in there. There's, he's about to pop.
Yep.
And he's quite stern-faced there, is our hero.
Oh, yeah.
He's,
That's the face of a killer. Just saying.
There they are on the front, and there they are mirrored.
Yeah.
And again, quite colourful around the play area. And
Yeah.
then on the bezel is that's lovely. That's really, really nice. Really
It is.
pretty. Brings it out, and the marquee at the top again.
Yeah, the marquee
So-
is really, really cool. I
Yeah.
really like the marquee a lot.
I think that's
It's
again, it's
fantastic.
a nice unit. So
It is fantastic. So let's get straight into it. I freaking love Dig Dug.
okay,
So, let's go.
again, I'll try and talk through some of the ideas behind the gameplay because there are quite a few hidden little bits and pieces in this.
Okay.
Again, I'm not an expert on these things by any stretch of the imagination,
No.
but
So
to boost your score, there are a couple of things you can do. If you notice, the levels are made up of different colours.
Yeah.
The deeper down you pop them, the more score you get for it.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my days.
I know. And also, if you drop 2 rocks, you then a piece of fruit should appear, or something in the centre of the screen. There we go.
Nice.
So bonus points there. So let's try and flatten somebody. Nope.
Oh, one's ghosting.
Oh, they will do. So
I think there's 2 there as well, isn't there?
yeah, but if I do them individually.
Goodbye, lad.
When they're inflated, you can run through them.
Ah, right.
So if like that, there was 2 of them. Oh, the other thing with the fire guards, you get more points if you attack them from the side.
Right. I just love that as well with this game.
So from underneath here,
Yeah.
I've got 200
Oh,
points.
nice.
But if you attack them from the side, you'll get more points.
The one thing I like about this game as well, the music is always when you move. Which is different, which I
So
absolutely
that's
love.
500 points down there for
In his back.
Puka.
See, 1,000 there for him in the back.
It's the Rimmer technique, just
It is.
blow them from the back. Oh, see, that's 400 points there for the different level.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's about as far as my knowledge of this game goes.
Oh, find yourself.
Okay, we'll call that a warm-up game.
A warm-up game.
Yeah, we'll be charitable.
No, I absolutely love Dig Dug. It's just the most simplest of thing. I like how it is. You basically blow up monsters with air, and then you basically are digging holes everywhere you go, and then you get burnt right away. Ouch!
I'm too busy laughing about the idea of
Blowing someone up with a huge amount of air. It's a pretty dark way of going. But this is his job as well. If you think about it, it's like, what do you do for a job? You know,
is it his job or is it a hobby?
It could be a hobby.
Perhaps in the law he's just
Maybe we're making Dig Dug law now. It goes like
absolutely.
the guy who owned that restaurant, basically he built burgers by just walking on them. Dig Dug, he's like, I have to eliminate all people with air, and it's a hobby.
He's a lunatic.
He is. Ooh. Boom. Yeah, this game. Nice. Yeah, this game is it gets played quite a bit on my my retrocade, like I'm saying. I would highly recommend a retrocade to people. Even though they're ROMs and all this stuff, and I know the purists out there are like, you should buy them originally and stuff and all this jazz.
Well, they are licensed, which
yeah,
is a step up from a lot of the Chinese machines that come in, where they're 300 games in one and completely unlicensed.
Oh, you flattened one, nice.
Yeah, I'm not just all about inflating beings; they can be crushed to death as well.
Crushed to death.
Yeah. On the way home, I'll just go home and gas some badges or something like this. It's just.
Wow, imagine that! Yeah. Like an exterminator just turns up with a giant like gas pump, and you're just like, "What are you doing?" It's just like, "This is how I get rid of everything."
I remember there was I think it was called Exterminator. It was an arcade game, and I think it was home versions where you were exterminating. It was like a first-person perspective, and you had these disconnected pair of hands, and you were destroying the insects and such as they came towards you. But no, for a brightly coloured arcade game that's meant to be pleasing, that we seem to have generated some dark thoughts over
It's
this.
true. I absolutely love Dig Dug though.
No, it is
it's
fun.
So different to other games, like I said, with the sound design. The idea of like blowing up enemies with air is pretty funny, but then it's just got a tunneling system which is really different to some games. It's just really cool, and I really like that they've done a cabinet for it, which I really do absolutely love. But I just love how, for me, being the sound design guy that I am, just every time he moves, it's just and then you stop, and then like the music stops. It's so you haven't got that looping thing for a very, very long time. You just you know, you've got him when he moves. It's so good. So you can stop still and just be really boring, and it keeps quiet. Or you know, you just keep moving around and see what the soundtrack is.
Yeah, sort of stealth movement. He's got his own backing group.
He has. Oops. It's just like Family Guy. He has his own soundtrack.
Yeah. No, very much though. This game reminds me of, in elements of Mr. Do.
Okay.
Which. Mainly because of the tunnelling, but you were avoiding creatures and going around collecting cherries, subterranean cherries by the looks of it.
Subterranean.
Yeah. Well, cherries are well known for growing underground.
I love how in arcade games we don't really complain about certain things, but then when we break them down, it does make me chuckle. Like, who wants to eat a turkey out of a trash can, or you know, just the little things in arcade games which make me chuckle.
Yeah, there's a lack of reality which more games could benefit from.
That's why I love Final Fight, because Final Fight is one of the only games where you'll see a mayor like go out and beat up gangs just because they stole a daughter. Instead of like saying, no, the police will handle this, he's like, no, I'll handle this.
Yeah.
And that's a great game, Final Fight.
I love Final Fight.
Final Fight is so good. Such a great game, Final Fight.
Yeah. Welcome to make a cabinet of that as well.
Oh yes, please make a cabinet of Final Fight. Love. Oh man, Final Fight. So many fun memories.
Extra life.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a headache. I think he may get one, but no.
No, he's gone the other way.
That Pookal's smart.
He was like, I'd rather get air. Oh, hello. Ooh.
Yeah. They are lethal though.
It's true.
Lethal to touch, so perhaps blowing them up is for the best. It's a public service.
So no one can touch them. Love it. Oh, so good. Good old Dig Dug. Oh, memories.
Here we go. So now
4 levels, isn't it? For
4 tiers.
Scores you get.
I know.
Oh, they're all coming for you now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, they weren't at first, and then they all
just were like, oh, it's quiet, we can move. That's how they stay alive. Because Dig Dug's around because we can hear him, and then when it's not hearing it, it's like, oh, it's probably behind me, he might kill me. When it's quiet, that's when it gets scary. It's like, Dig Dug should be made into a horror movie from the sounds of it.
Oh God. Just imagining the explosions would be rather graphic.
Oh yeah, of course. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Dig Dug the horror film.
Dig Dug the horror movie. Yeah. I'd pay to see it. I'll direct it. There we go.
I'm not sure it would be allowed to be released.
Yeah, licensing fees and music and stuff. Oh god.
Well, I just thought more the content, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Specialist cinema only.
True. Limited release.
There we go. The darkest game we've played so far.
Yeah,
Dig
of course.
Dug.
Of course. So, we have a little bit of a sneaky bonus addition to the end of episode 2 here, and it's a Space Invaders cabinet that Dave has brought along, which kind of took me off surprise because, well, let's just... Here's my hand, and yeah, that's the size of it, guys. Like, it's very, very small. It's hilariously adorable how small this is.
It is, but surprisingly, it is functional and playable. Which you don't always expect on these things because, you know, unless you're a small child,
yeah,
you would think this is no good. But no, this works fine. Have a quick look. There's the usual Space Invaders ones, styling, and this one goes all the way.
It's a really nice one. I like it.
Yeah, the paper stock isn't as good as the previous machines.
Yeah, the My
but then
ones.
It's a little bit different, and same on the other side.
Yeah.
There's a keychain, or if you want to attach it to your bag.
Yeah, it's true. You could.
3 AAA batteries, which these machines do come with, which is quite
That's
generous.
actually really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an off-on switch.
Sweet.
There's a speaker in the bottom.
Cool.
Which is pretty loud. There's no volume control though.
Okay. All
so
right.
you can't really play this in public places.
Yeah, people will know you're playing Space Invaders or something because they'll hear you probably a mile.
Yeah. So if you're, of the selfish kind, then go ahead and play that. And,
exactly.
It's get the grannies tutting and.
Yes, I think the one thing that I like over this, which is what you showed me off camera, was when you turn it on. There's something that I really like, which I wish the My Arcades did. Which I think if you can, as you can see, you got the screen, but it's this thing here.
Yeah, the banner or marquee lights up.
I wonder if the camera will pick it up actually.
Yeah, I think you can see.
Like there you go.
Well, if I turn it off, you can see.
Yeah, it simply lights up, and I like that as a touch. I think that's a really cool touch because when you go to arcades, the first thing you see is like the bright colours of the headboard, really, more than anything. Like what thing you want to do.
Absolutely. It's just about having bright lights glowing in your face as you sit there soullessly zapping aliens.
It's true, but yeah, like we said, like I think the funniest thing you said, Dave, is like the screen is the size of your thumb, pretty much. Like there's no joke about it. It's very small and it's playable. That was the one thing I laughed about. It was it's very, very playable.
This has just gone into a power saving mode. I think it's 20 seconds if you don't push a button. But
okay, that's pretty useful though as well, because obviously you don't want to burn through batteries so quick.
No, but then it will retain the high score.
Cool beans. So let's do this. Let's break into some Space Invaders.
Okay.
So classic this. I absolutely love it. But for the size it is though, it's very, very impressive. Like, it's incredibly impressive for what it is, which I absolutely love and adore.
I am playing this through the viewfinder, so I will try to not get my. Oh, press the right button. There we go. I can't see what I'm doing.
Oh, that's all good. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm trying not to block the view, but.
But yeah, these retail a little bit less than the bigger cabinets, right?
I think those are around £15.
Yeah,
bigger cabinets can be. I think they're about £30 odd. They are reduced in places, but.
Yeah, because we're filming this a little bit later. On another day from when we recorded the other ones. I went out and I did buy a few of the cabinets. I bought Dig Dug and Gallagher, like I was saying towards the end of our recording. But yeah, I absolutely love it. It's such a cool idea though as well. Just the fact that you can just have it like you said, Dave, like on a bottom of your games bag, or just on like a backpack or in your wallet, or not like on a keychain even or something.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too big to have on a keychain.
I don't know. I think it looked pretty funny. You just walk around with one of these attached. Like, what are you doing? You're just like, oh yeah, I just play Space Invaders in my spare time. Waiting for a bus, you can just like It sounds dangerous to say just whip it out, but they're sitting in the bus shower or whatever playing Space Invaders. People looking at you like, what you doing? You're like, invaders. But no, it's simple. It's quite responsive though as well for what it is as well.
It works. I mean, sadly I won't give you the best impression of this because I can't genuinely see clearly through the viewfinder what I'm doing. But I have when I play it properly. Let's try it.
There you go. No, I think it looks great. Like we keep saying, it's just really, really good times. Like, I think for what it is, it's definitely worth possibly picking up. I think the one thing I really, really like about it is the banner. The banner is really, really freaking cool.
Yeah.
I really, really like it.
There are other games in this series that I've seen. I think there's a Frogger.
Okay.
I think there's a Cubert.
A Cubert one.
The Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, always turning up that guy.
I think there's a Miss Pac-Man as well, but I haven't seen that. I quite like Miss Pac-Man. The maze is really nice.
Yeah.
But, no, this is again fun. I don't think it's an arcade port.
Yeah.
Though I am pleased to see at the bottom, unlike some of the games you get, they have put the green graphics on. And I think that's programmed in rather than as it was in the day where it's just a coloured strip put across the screen.
Yeah.
Or across the mirror, because I think a lot of these were reflected onto the screen. You'd have a screen in the bottom of the unit, and it would reflect the image up onto a surface.
Exactly.
You see, but no, plays fine. I've completed a sheet of Space Invaders, so It is possible.
It is possible on camera as well, which is always good.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I definitely think it's really cool, and I like the idea of how small they are. They're pretty cool.
We'll do a quick size comparison.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
this is just pretty funny. So the size comparison of these. Here we go.
So we'll zoom out and we'll bring in.
There we go. So like you
dudes.
can already see how big it is. Like look at it compared to it. It's his baby cousin. It's just so stupidly big. But yeah, like, oh, man, it's just funny because like yeah, even if you put it next to it, like look at it.
Yeah.
It's like that's like a hand's difference to what it is.
It is substantially. It's half the size, isn't it, in terms of height?
It is. Oh my days. But no, I do admit the artwork looks really nice on it, like we said, and it does its job. It's not as a nice vinyl finish as these guys, but you know, for the amount you're paying for this, they've done a really good job. I really like it.
Yeah, I think it's again like the other ones. It's another fun way to play these old classic games.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy them, there you go. It's another way to do it.